I overlook all of the links under it. I don't want to make a donation for TDOC. All right, hold on. Let me get this thing a name because it didn't come out right. Okay. So, I mean, essentially, what we're going to talk about is like these Israelite, pretty much these deadbeat Israelite men that deem themselves priests that pretty much prey upon sisters.
Join the meeting.
Definitely a needed topic and subject. So, we're going to go into it. And, it would be very wise of sisters to really listen up. Really listen in, because there's a lot of them out there. There's a lot of this stuff going on in the so-called Israelite community of Yasha Allah. There's a lot of men out there that pretty much prey upon sisters, and many of these men, they don't work at all, and so they prey upon the women. So they take multiple wives. Tazadaq, I mean, he's one. You can say firsthand. Guy doesn't work. You see the brothers, back in 2014 was saying that the guy doesn't work, and so on and so forth. And so what they do is that they're married this sister, married that sister, and they're essentially, the sister either get public assistance or she's working, and these sisters are actually taking care of the men. It's kind of, like reverse roles. So, we're going to go into, these deadbeat, and there's a lot of them out there. So sisters, you've really got to beware. We're always, talking about the sisters. So tonight we're going to talk about these deadbeat Israelite pimp teachers that won't work, that's walking around in their attractive Hebrew attire. So this is a warning, to all sisters. They're out there. They're in ISUPK. They're in the House of Israel, and there are many of these other camps. And the Lord has, a lot to say about a man that won't work to provide, for his own. So you have these Pharisee pimp preachers, right? And I like to refer to them as preachers because that's exactly what they're doing. And they exploit the people of the Most High without any concern for their souls or humanity. And so I feel that the people of the Most High are actually being robbed by these pimp preachers. Like a lot of people, they believe in this guy's a bomb. Man, this guy's just a damn pimp preacher, man. Man won't work. And the Lord said that a man that doesn't work to provide for his own is worse than a disbeliever, worse than an infidel. And they're only concerned about themselves. That's, they use the words of the Most High to get fame, but they're only concerned about themselves. So tonight we will talk about these male Israelite pimp preachers that pimp our sisters, that pimp their wives, that may have 1, 2, 3, 4 wives, and the man doesn't work. But the women, the sisters, are working and providing from these deadbeat, no good, filthy Israelites that won't work. And they twist the scriptures to make these women to believe, hey, well, you know what, I'm a priest, you're supposed to take care of me. I mean, come on, man. You can't justify that with scriptures. And so your mind has to be a little bit closed to even go for that, right? Because that's not even that. That's against the nature of man and woman. That's against the divine nature that the Creator created us in, man. You got this big overgrown horse, and he got women taking care of him. You understand what I'm saying? This nigga don't want, part of my French, don't want to work. The scripture said if you don't work, you don't eat.
God.
But they're doing it, and they're getting away with it. And so the first thing for a woman to get out and support a grown, I'm not saying that a man won't fall on hard times and his wife shouldn't be there for him. But if you're going to get wives like Tazadaq, like many of the guys at ISUPK, and you're using those wives to support you then that's off as heck. So for starters, can someone get First Timothy's 5 verse 8? Book of First Timothy's 5 verse 8. Read that.
Hold on 1 second. My dang on. Here we go. All right, book of First Timothy, chapter 5, verse 8. But if any provide not for his own, and especially for those of his own house, he have denied the faith and is worse than an infidel.
So the Lord says that a man that won't provide for his own home, first of all, he's denied the truth, right? He's denied that he even believes in the Most High, and he's worse than a non-believer. So, I mean, he's worse than someone that doesn't even believe in the Most High at all. If he won't provide for his own, if he won't provide for his own household. So, I mean, this is a horrible thing to see, man. This is a horrible thing to see. From there, let's get on Proverbs 20, verse 4. He's a sluggard. He doesn't want to do for himself. He wants, he get these sisters to take care of him. He doesn't want to do for himself. But I mean, this is going on in Israel. There's a lot of these Israelites men out here just like this. So these sisters, they got to watch out for this, man. You got to watch out for this. You got to be very careful. You try that spirit. Try that spirit.
Book of Proverbs, chapter 20, verse 4. The sluggard will not plow by reason of the cold.
Yeah, lazy man. He don't know it's too cold. I ain't going out there. It's too cold. I'm not going out there and work. The sluggard will not work. Go ahead, read.
Therefore shall he beg in the harvest and have nothing.
Right. So they be always standing on the damn corner saying, throw some money in the bucket. Throw some money in the bucket like Tazadaq be doing. There's always a damn bucket out there. It's nothing wrong, with asking for an offering. But I mean, this is how this man make a living. This is how many of these Israelites make a living. And it's not just Tazadaq, it's many of them. If you look at many of these men that have multiple wives, they're not supporting these women. The women are supporting them. The women are supporting them, and you can't even call me a liar. I dare any of you to call me a liar. And these sisters that know this is going on, you should be exposing these dirty men. You should be exposing these lazy men, and you should feel ashamed of yourself. You're going out working, and he has you taking care of him. Not just you, but several of you women are. So let's first begin by addressing the sisters, right? Now, the entire UNI verse is built on harmony and repetitiveness, right? That magnificent ball of fire and light known as the sun that's present each and every day, whether you see it or not, through the clouds. All life upon this earth is generated from the dependability of the sun. The sun, it is the sun that strikes the earth on its equator that provokes the earth to rotate at 1,037 and 1/3 miles per hour, spinning on its axis, right? If there was no sun, then the earth would stop spinning and all life will commence to halt. So the 139,255,000 square miles of water would overpower the 57,255,000 square miles of land. The seasons that you see, winter, spring, summer, fall, everything is determined by what you refer to as nature and what we refer to as Yah, God. So the Most High, or what you refer to as nature, comprises this routine system to benefit the inhabitants of each continent upon this planet. Now, man, woman, and child, their plan and their survival is based on the daily dependability of certain happenings established by what many refers to as nature, that we know as the Most High, the Creator, right? So the Israelite women, so-called Black women, right, often referred to, as a so-called Black woman, she's out of sync. And sisters, you need to listen, don't get upset. You're out of sync with the natural order of the universe, right? Because she refuses to hear the principles that's actually been set forth in a system, of existence that were actually meant to be repetitive and based on how everything functions. So the variations of daily life that she crave is core, essentially, disorganization and confusion. Why is her ways considered to be disorganization and confusion? Because she refers to this disorganization and confusion as doing things her way. But essentially, her way is what she's learned from Western society, which essentially, it has nothing whatsoever to do with our culture. It has nothing whatsoever to do with her true culture. Case in point, right? Most sisters, they have westernized minds, right? Now you can like this, understand it, believe it or not, right? Most sisters are against her husband being in a polygamous marriage, right? So what usually happens, people already, let me show you how hypocritical America is and the so-called Black woman is, right? She's already a polygamist, which is against the Most High. Because the Most High said a man that she lays down with and spread her quiver with, she's not supposed to take another man until he's dead. But he doesn't say that about the man. Throughout our culture, it doesn't matter what you're dealing with, Israelite, doesn't matter if you're dealing with a so-called African and so on and so forth, you'll see that the men typically had multiple wives. Now, because of what, and this is not my subject, I'm just making a point to show you how our women are out of touch with their culture and out of touch with reality. And their minds has actually been westernized. And women shouldn't get upset. You need to listen, because I'm going to show you how to save your marriage and keep your man. You understand? So essentially, she wants to create this fictitious world that Esau has designed for her, thinking that her man is going to remain with her and her only for his entire lifetime. That's a false perception of reality. That is her perception of reality, but it is not reality. So typically what happens, she compelled the man into saying, oh yeah, I promise to be just with you my entire life. And he know damn well that's not going to happen, because it goes against his genetic makeup. It goes against his nature. Watch this, good brother Yashaban. The Most High designed things for a reason, right? Now let's say you was with a woman, you went out, you had sex with her, right? She got pregnant. If that woman gets pregnant, this should tell you something, man. This is dealing with common damn sense. So you got to get above your emotions, right? And there's a lot of henpecked men that's going to be against what I'm saying. And we're going to deal with the men, but we're going to deal with the sisters first. There's a lot of henpecked beta males that will be against what I'm saying, right? If she goes on and she have sex with you and you impregnate her, that's it. You understand what I'm saying? Any other man she allows goes into her is dumping sperm on your seed. You see what I'm saying? Your baby that's now growing in her. So common damn sense should tell her this is not a natural process for her. but she goes along with Western society. Oh no, he's supposed, if he could do it, I could do it too. That's not how the Most High has designed things. If such is the case, why is it that same man that impregnate her, he could go over here and get another woman pregnant, go over here and get another woman pregnant in this same night? You understand what I'm saying? In this same night, you need to really think about what I'm saying. This is the divine nature in what the Most High has created woman and man. They're distinctively different with different purposes. So for her to try and force a man to just be with her, she's asking for disappointment. But this is her false perception of a westernized mind. So she'll say, well, he belongs to me. And so if she doesn't allow him, if the man says, well, you know what, I want to take another wife. She doesn't allow it, the man's going to do it anyways. And all of you women that don't get this, you're slow. You're slow. Yeah, your man too. Right now, General Yashaban, a lot of brothers probably said, damn, Tazadaq, shut the hell up, man. Yo, man, you giving him the game. But I'm telling you, your man too. Yes, your man too. At some point, your man's going to decide that, hey, man. I mean, because that's just the way that he's designed. You cannot get something to go against its nature. It's kind of like taking an animal out of the wild and putting him into a zoo, right? You train a lion, man, stick his damn head in the lion's mouth. But one day something clicks and the lion goes back to his original nature. And he sticks his damn head in the lion's mouth and the lion bites his head off. Now they got to put the lion down because they try to compel the lion to do that which was actually against its nature. Just like the sun. We all have a purpose. Everything has a purpose in the universe, the universe. The sun, the moon, and stars, they all serve a specific purpose. So it is with the man and the woman. Too many women are trying to get men to go against the nature in which the Heavenly Father created them. Now, I know many of you sisters, you don't want to accept this because, and you know what's sad? Is that you think you're thinking from your own perception. You think you're thinking for your own perceptions, but you're not. You're thinking from a manipulated mind, which has nothing to do with your culture. You don't know your culture. You don't even know your nationality. You ask the average so-called Black woman her nationality, she's going to say Black. They don't know their nationality. Well, hell, most of you so-called Black men don't know your nationality. You understand? So she, going back to her, she wants to do things her way. So it's a state of uncivilization because you're trying to mimic Western society, right? So she refers to this disorganization as doing things her way, which she learned from Edomites, which essentially has nothing to do with her culture. So she maintains the idea that freedom means she could do things any way she pleases. That's what she believes freedom is. But how's that working out for you? How's that working out for you? She fails to realize that there is no freedom without responsibility. So the purpose has been reduced to her obligation to fight for her liberation, to fight for her so-called rights of superiority over the Israelite man, aka the so-called Black man. So the mere idea of obeying, watch this, and a lot of you brothers, you know what I'm saying, it's true because most of you are beta males. The mere idea of obeying a so-called Black man and doing what he tell her to do is considered to be non-assertive. Non-assertive, because there's too many so-called Black women out there with masculine energy. So she's aggressive, right? So to work in unity with him, with her Israelite man, on an idea can even frighten her because she sees it as submersion of one's personality into another. But when you look at the business aspect, good brother Yashaban, This submersion is referred to as a merger. But she doesn't want to merge with an Israelite king, aka a so-called black man. She doesn't want to double the power. Because why? She wants individualism. She wants liberation. Why? Because her mind has been manipulated by the enemy. So the Israelite man and woman and child are considered to be what? A nation. But no nation can survive and even exist attempting to cater to an individual's need of each member. You can't do that. The nation's going to fall like that. Oh yeah, you do it my way. Nah, do it my way. The nation is going to fall. The scriptures say a house divided against itself cannot stand. So there are overriding rules that must be obeyed by every member of the nation is to ensure the success of the whole. And so the head of the nation must be respected and must make these determinations to enforce them. Watch this. Hey, give me the book of Genesis 3:16. Let's see who's supposed to be the head of the nation. Let's see what the Lord says. You claim to be people, men and women of the Most High. Let's see what the Lord says. Genesis 3:16. The head of the nation must be respected and must make those determinations and enforce them. Two can't do that. The head must do it. The head, every organization has a head. And so it is with the unit of family. There is a head. And we're going to find out who the Lord made the head. Can someone get that? Genesis 3:16.
Con, Genesis chapter 3, verse 16. Unto the woman he said, I will greatly multiply thy sorrow and thy conception. In sorrow thou shalt bring forth children, and thy desire shall be to thy husband, and he shall rule over thee.
And he shall rule over thee. And he shall rule over thee. So according to that, good brother Joshua, does it not sound like the man is the head of the unit of family? You there, good brother Joshua?
Oh yeah, he's just getting in.
All right. What about Terrence? You see that, Terrence? Terrence
Yes,
T.
I do. Yes, I do. I see.
That's crystal clear. That's crystal clear. The Most High made man the head of the unit of family. That's how you build a nation. Family is the backbone of nation. So the most out of order woman there is, and this is very painful, is a so-called black woman, man. The Israelite woman. She challenges a man. She's always up in her face. She doesn't want to assume her place of responsibility. And guess who trained her like that? Esau did. Esau trained her like that. From there, someone get Ephesians 5:22. Let's read a little more into this, man. This man has to, every organization has to have a head, and the creator of the universe made you, man, the head. I mean, ain't you something, man? You men are gonna have to start ruling your homes, man. If your woman doesn't listen, man, leave her the hell alone, man. Put her away, as it says in the book of Sirach. Put her away. If she won't go away, that you will have her. That's what the Lord says to his prophet, man. Put her away. Don't be arguing with her back and forth. That's feminine energy in general. Because you're not going to out-argue her. Her mouth, man, it's just like, just unstoppable.
Amos 3:3, how can two walk together except they be agreed?
Come.
Yep.
Con. So Ephesians 5:22. Wives, submit yourselves unto your own husbands.
Whoa. You sure they didn't say wives be a smart mouth?
Wives, submit yourselves unto your own husbands.
Hold on. Are you sure you're reading that right? Are you sure they didn't say, no, she could shut up when she wants to shut up? You sure they didn't say she's supposed to buck up against you, huh?
Con, I'm sure. Ephesians 5:22. Wives, submit yourselves unto your own husbands.
Like what? Submit like what, huh?
As unto the Lord.
As into the what?
As unto the Lord.
So a husband is supposed to be like God to the woman. Now, most feminists can't handle that. That's point blank, period. I'm gonna tell you straight, man. Every single woman that has been raised in westernized society, she needs a revolution of her mind, man. I don't care how good you think your woman is, she needs a revolution of her mind. Why? Because the mothers that raised them was out of order. The mothers that, it's painful, but it's true. The mothers that raised them was out of order. Because I'm gonna hit you with something. You can only do what you know. So if she was actually raised to be submissive to her husband, then she would naturally do it. You see what I'm saying? That would already be in her. It wouldn't be something that you got to argue for, man. It will come naturally. But she hasn't been taught that. I'm into something, man. A lot of women, they get together. They have this secret female club where they go in, and the favorite subject is the no good man. My husband. He ain't this. He ain't that. And then when she goes back home, she's smiling in that man's face. And she manipulating on your minds, brothers. Brothers, you better wake up, man. You men has got to wake up, and you better control that house. You better control that household. So from there, get Sirach in the Apocrypha, chapter 26. Actually, I'm on chapter 25. Start at verse 25 through 26. Sirach 25 through 26.
Book of Sirach, Ecclesiasticus, chapter 25, verse 25 to 26, and it reads, give the water no passage, neither a wicked woman liberty to gad abroad.
So you don't give her no, what determines wickedness? Someone's not keeping the laws. What's the first law that the Most High gave Eve? Obey your husband. Besides obey him, the next order was obey your husband. Your desire shall be, we just read it, shall be unto your husband, and he shall rule over you. So I'm gonna hit you with something. All you women under the sounds of our voice right here tonight, if you don't obey your husband, there is no heaven for you. I don't give a damn what your preacher's been telling you. I don't care what they've been lying to you. Unless he's telling you to do something wickedly, there's no salvation for you, man. There is no salvation. How can you say you're in compliance with the scriptures when we could go in the Bible again and again and again and again, and the Lord is telling you to obey your husband? What's the first damn thing she do? Running off at the mouth, diarrhea of the mouth, up in the man's face. Stay in your lane. The only reason she's doing that is because she has a secret contract with Esau. She know that she could dial those 3 magical numbers and get you locked up because we're in captivity. But she because she's not in her state. She's in a natural, uncivilized state based on Western society. This is why when the man wants more than one wife, it seems so foreign to her. She wants things her way. But that's not the natural order of things, man. It's just against the nature in which the Heavenly Father created the man. You understand? There's a reason that a man could go and impregnate 4 or 5 women in the same night. And she could get pregnant and boom, that's it. You understand what I'm saying? There's a reason that things are designed that way. It was the Lord that did that. Go ahead, brother. Finish that out.
26. If she go not as thou wouldest have her, cut her
Stop
off.
for a second. Stop for a second. It doesn't say anything here about, oh yeah, not equal rights. We don't find any of that in the scriptures. It says that she doesn't do what you want her to do. If she does not go the way that thou would have her, read on.
Cut her off from thy flesh and give her a bill of divorce and let her go.
And give her a bill of divorce and let her go. Now, Bob, let me say this. The hoe would go off and take another man. That's the average. Stop me where I'm lying at. Stop me where I'm lying at, Craig. Stop me where I'm lying at, Terrence. The average hoe will go off and marry another man, and then they will swear that they're Christian. They will swear that they're an Israelite. But what does the Lord say about that? Someone get the book of Romans 7 verse 2, and someone get 1 Corinthians 7 and 39. Let's see what the Lord says about that through his apostle Paul. Let's see what the Lord says about her going, once you divorce, just because your husband divorced you, don't mean you could go and lay down with another man. If you do that, you are a hoe, and judgment is coming to you. Damn, Tazadaq, I thought you was going to talk about the men. Yeah, we're going to get to that. But we're going to deal with these Eves first, because we got to fix this entire community.
Romans chapter 7, verse 2. For the woman which hath a husband is bound by the law to her husband as long as he liveth.
So you got a lot of damn Israelites that like to twist the scripture, say, nah, she can remarry. It says according to the law. When it says according to the law, what is it referring you back to? The Torah. The Torah. So according to the law, she's bound by that man as long as he lived. So just because he divorced you doesn't mean you could go and spread your quiver and start taking all these foreign substance up in you. Because it's been proven scientifically, every man that she lay down with and have sex with, traces of that man's sperm goes to her brain and remain there. That's why they be so damn bugged out of their mind, many of them, man. A lot of them got masculine spirits. So she might have laid down with a man that had a spirit of a murderer on him. That's why some of them are so damn aggressive. They don't get that, man. You have to be taught by your man. The Most High made it this way for a reason. He said anything. That doesn't mean that you're dumb. But it says if she will learn anything, let her learn from her husband at home. So men, that means you can't be dumb. Go ahead, huh?
But if the husband be dead, she is loose from the law of the husband.
You see that, Terrence? You see that, Terrence? See? Oh, he can't talk. His woman must be around, man. Dang.
Nah, she ain't around. Yes,
all right. Come on, speak up, brother. You don't have to be afraid. I'm the one that's speaking, man. Y'all men don't have to be afraid, man. Come on, man. We're going to straighten these impacts out tonight, man. We are going to straighten these impacts out tonight, man. Come on, man. All right, so from there, someone grab 1 Corinthians 7 and 39. Beta males can't hang around here, man. This is an alpha club, man. We don't deal with beta, man.
1 Corinthians chapter 7, verse 39. The wife is bound by the law as long as her husband liveth.
So here it is again. You see that, good brother Joshua?
Listen,
Yeah. I hope you see this, man. So when you deal with these young Eves, man, so you know how to keep them in line, man. You don't want no woman who's gonna be out there. Nah, man, you don't want to deal with that kind of Eve, man. You want a modest daughter of Zion, man.
But if her husband be dead, she is at liberty to be married to whom she will, only in the Lord.
See that? Only in the Lord. So the only way, that means that man has to be a believer also, only in the Lord. So the only way she could go and take someone else if her husband is dead. You know how many women is guilty of this? You know how many judgment is coming? And that so-called Israelite woman too. The one that you see on there, on damn Facebook. Shalom. And you see her, she's all dressed all modest. Her hair is covered. Then if you scan through her damn pictures, she might even have a plate of food out there. That's the lure you in, fool. You damn men better wake up, man. I'm trying to show you how to be a real alpha man, man. You go and look at the rest of her pictures. Then you asked her, damn, sis, why you still got those kind of pictures? Oh, I just want to show people how it used to be. See, that's a damn demon right there, man. That's a demon. Why would you want to show someone that? Well, what did the Lord say? You know, when you got to take off the old man, meaning the old woman also. You put on the new man. So that means you gotta disassociate yourself with all of that. So you brothers, I'm telling you, man, if you don't listen to what I'm saying, you're gonna be in for a long, horrific ride, a long, horrendous ride, and it's not gonna end good for you, man. It's not going to end good for you, man. If you're dealing with a woman that still has pictures, now I'm into something else, man. If you're dealing with a woman that has all of these male friends, don't deal with her, man. If you go to Facebook and you're looking for a wife, and she got all these male friends, because I'm gonna hit you something. I'm dealing with the law. I'm not dealing with worldly stuff, right? She got a lot of male friends. You shouldn't be dealing with her, because first of all, she's supposed to be learning from you. And that's a violation of Sirach 9 verse 9, because you'll say, well, she's not meeting me in person. Meeting on damn social media is just like meeting in person. People start relationships from that. People start marriages from that. So why in the heck is she dealing with these other men? Matter of fact, someone pull that real quick. Let's prove all things. The scripture said to prove all things. Let's get Sirach 9 verse 9. So you got to watch that. You go and look at her pictures, man, before you decide to get involved, man. And we're going to deal with the men also. We're going to deal with these no good Israelite men that try and take advantage of good sisters. And, he won't work. Negro won't work. Negro got children all over the damn place. He's not taking care of any of them. His wives are taking care of him. And these guys are out here hard body. It's the same guys that you see on the street that claim they hate Esau, but they're getting the public assistance from the women that's getting it from Esau. It's kind of like an oxymoron, isn't it? Negro won't work for nothing. Allergic to work. Start throwing up, he have to go into work. Regurgitate. I'm telling you, man, it's like that for real, man. There's a lot of these Israelite men out here like this. They're standing on the corner, man. Bums. Hebrew bums are what you are.
That's a weak man. That's weak.
Yeah, how do you feel like a man doing that, man? He's a bum. That's a bum all day long, man. This dude ain't work. This dude doesn't work. A lot of guys at ISUPK, remember one of the sisters came forth and said he won't work? Take a lot of wives, and all of the wives are taking care of them. That's kind of like reverse roles right there. That has nothing to do with our culture, man. The man would go out and provide, man. You understand? And then some of these sisters are so damn simple that the man have them in the same damn bed performing threesomes. Wicked, man. That's off as hell, man. When you look at our forefathers, if they had multiple wives, each wife had her own tent. You understand what I'm saying? So they could at least separate these women in different rooms. What the hell are you doing with 3 people in the bed? That's fornication, man. When you read the book of Leviticus, the 18th chapter. That's fornication, man. That's against the laws of the Lord thy power. So someone gets Sirach 9 verse 9, man.
Sirach chapter 9 verse 9. Sit not at all with another man's wife.
That means on Facebook too. That means on Instagram too. And all these other damn Snapchats and all of that. And then, I counsel some sisters. They said these no good Negroes. She trying to talk to him. He sent a damn picture of his penis. You got some nasty, damn filthy, and they supposed to be, these are men that call themselves priests, man. And they know I'm not lying, man. A lot of sisters are probably saying, damn, I'm glad he's telling me. This is why they don't like me, man. Because I'm a warrior for the Most High. This is Yahweh's work, man. I'm going to speak the truth, irregardless to whom may not like it or who do like it. And so the other thing, if you have a rib, or if you have a woman that you're even courting, she's not supposed to be dealing with other men. If she is, that's not the woman for you. Forget about that, brother. The Most High will bless you with someone better. Because she's into you, she shouldn't be dealing with them. Hit you something, man. Eve in her current state is exceedingly wicked. She will keep another man, or maybe 2, on the back burner just in case things don't go right with you. That's off as hell, man. Read it again, from the top.
Ecclesiasticus chapter 9 verse 9. Sit not at all with another man's wife.
So what that means, right? If I'm going to Maryland, and I go, I'm going to get Joshua to come out. Right? Let's go out. We're going down to DC, man, and keep camp. Joshua's not home. I'm not supposed to go in his house. I'm not supposed to, like these worldly Negroes, I go inside. Well, I'm going to sit here and wait for him. No, Negro, you don't come in my house, Negro.
Yeah.
You don't come. That's off as hell. You understand what I'm saying? You don't go in that man's house. You talk through her from the door, and that's it. You talk to, just let him know I came by. Tell him to give me a call. You don't go in that brother's house, man. That's off. You don't. It says set not at all. There's no excuse for that. That means even if you're at work, if some woman is married, You don't be going to damn Starbucks with her, having tea, having coffee. Why? We don't.
Nor sit down with her in thine arm, and spend not thy money with her at the wine.
So you don't hug her. Do not sit down with her. A lot of Israelite congregations, man, when they have meetings, you see the men and the women hugging. That is the spirit of Nakash. That is the spirit of the snake, Nakash, because it's slithering. Well, don't you know when you touch people, man, that carries certain vibrations, especially when a man is touching a woman. Then sometimes they hug, his hand is slipping down there to her buttocks. Man, you got to watch these wicked Negroes, man, and these wicked Eves. So this is the Lord put this here for a reason, man. It's not just here for conjecture. You're supposed to keep this, man. So don't hold her in your arms. Don't buy a drink. They violate all of this. Oh, we just went out for a drink. And she'll tell him, his dumb ass, hey, damn, why are you so jealous? We just went out for a drink. Okay. Yeah, okay. Simple Negro. You simple as hell, man. I smack you with a damn apocrypha, man. You better wake up and control that household, man. You better control that household, man. She don't want to listen. Do what the scriptures say, man. She don't want to go the way that you will have her put her away, man. The Lord will bless you with someone nearer in faith as long as you do what you're supposed to do. Was that on that, good brother?
We got a few more lines.
Go ahead.
Spend not thy money with her at the wine, lest thine heart incline unto her, and so through thy desire thou fall into destruction.
So it's telling you why, man. It's telling you if you do these things, you might start to lust for her. You might start to like her, and what? You're going to fall into destruction. Why? Because we already know the punishment for violating a man's wife, and Tazadaq is observant of that punishment. We know what the punishment is for the man and the woman for violating another man's wife. We already know what it is. So the Most High has actually established a man as the ruler of his home. And every member is supposed to obey the ruler of that organization in order that that organization be successful. So the head of the nation must be respected, and he must make the determinations and enforce them. Now, if the nation is wounded in the body, because Eve, she might have the disease of westernized thinking, right? So if there's a wound of mental manipulation, perhaps, it will soon rendered that whole body to be invalid and crumble. It's a slow, deadly process that is predicated by learned social scientists. See, what Eve doesn't realize, man, these social scientists, they plot on us, man. They plot on us. They study you. They know what affects you, and they know what affects them. And so this is actually all aiding to the destruction of the Israelite nation. You don't see any of this. You think you're thinking from your own accord, but you're really not. She's combating right now. Her spirit is bucking up against what I'm saying right now. You can't even call me a liar, man. I already know it, man. The spirit's manifesting that. The average so-called woman that's listening to this, her spirit is bucking up against what I'm saying right now, man. There's only a small fraction that's really going to receive this. And those are the ones that could possibly save their marriages and their homes. So the Israelite man and woman must become a unit. They must become one. They must become in the terms of thinking together. They must be in agreement of their goals and their works, and so on and so forth. Nothing is more pleasing than peace at home. The scriptures say a woman is supposed to be a pillar of rest. A pillar of rest. You got that, Terrence? She's supposed to be a pillar of rest. Some of you come home, you open the door, peeking in. Damn, I wonder what kind of mood she in today. You got to test the waters before he come in. It's not supposed to be that way, man. He come in late. He might have had to work late. Man, tired, man. Especially if he got a labor job. He might have been doing construction. He come in, damn, she a little late. You know, he might have hung out. He might have hung out for a minute, you know, with the boys, talking about scriptures or something. He come home, dragon waiting for him. Nigga, where you been? You're supposed to be here 2 hours ago. Now she checking on the man. He was supposed to be the head. She checking on him. And he come, oh, yeah, just hang out with Yashabam in there. My food ready? Nah, your food ain't ready. Cook it yourself. Okay. Nigga talking. You know what I mean? He starts sounding more like Goofy. You know what I mean? Just, you know what I mean? You're laughing, but it actually goes on, brothers. This actually goes on. I've seen it. And all I could do is shake my head. Brother, damn, why you let her treat you like this, man? You're supposed to be the man. She's not going to respect you. She's going to leave you. And ultimately, that's what happened. Once a woman found out she can control you, she's going to leave you for a real man, an alpha male that she can't control. Because it's not in her nature, even if she doesn't understand this, and many women don't understand this, they leave men and they don't know why. It's because he allowed her to control him. So hey, I don't need a man. He can't handle me. That's what she'll tell her girls. He can't handle me. He ain't no real man. And he think treating all damn nice, acting like every damn day, Valentine's Day, bringing her chocolate candies in, bringing her damn flowers. And then, meanwhile, this nigga's so weak. When he at work, Slick Willie is blowing her back up. This is going on, brothers. This is going on, man. This is going on. Whether you can like it, understand it, believe it or not, man, but you better wake up, man. You better wake up. But nothing's more pleasing and loving than a peaceful home on a daily basis. So if the Israelite woman, the so-called black woman, walks to try and please the black man, he's going to also want to please her. Am I lying? Am I lying, brothers? If she tries to please him, it is in her nature. What do you think, good brother Dietrich? If your woman try and please you, try and do the things that you want, or you're not going to try and please her back?
Done.
Yeah, it's the nature of the man, man. It's the nature of the man. If she tries to please him, that man is going to try to please her back. But what's going on? Well, how come he can't do it for me first? See, that's westernized thinking. And she think that's her own thinking, man. She think that's her own thinking. But the problem is, a lot of these women, they're trying to get the man to submit. I mean, it's something, sister. It is not in the nature of a man to submit to a woman. Even if he does it, because he wants peace in the home, he's not going to feel right. He's going to feel out of place. It is not in a man's nature to submit to a woman. The Most High did not make us that way. Even if he does it, he knows something's wrong. He's not going to have peace. So the women that try to get men to submit to them, she's wasting her time and everybody else's time. And you know, the so-called black woman, on her shoulders, she has one of the hardest heads out there, frozen at negative 32 degrees, because she really doesn't want to listen. She'll listen to everyone except for her king, her God, that the Most High designed to lead her. She don't want to listen. She don't want to listen, right? And so more so than anyone, she's actually helping to rush him to his grave, stressing him out. Can't get peace at home, and so on and so forth. Her primary job is supposed to be know how to, you know, take care of that home. One of the reasons that the so-called black man is down off so fast is the diet. So-called black woman, she's only interested in a diet when she wants to lose weight. Otherwise, she's throwing a damn meal together in 10, 15 minutes, killing the damn family. She's supposed to know how to do this stuff, man. She's supposed to be a good nutritionist. Let's get the book of Proverbs 31:14. Watch this. Case in point, most ill health is a result of a bad diet. You can't even call me a liar. Heart disease, heart attacks, all of this is a result of a bad diet. So if our women are responsible for making sure that we're eating nutritious foods, healthy foods, while we're suffering from all of these diseases. Because she's only interested in a diet when she wants to lose weight. Proverbs 31:14.
Book of Proverbs, chapter 31, verse 14. She is like the merchant ships. She bringeth her food from afar.
Okay, go ahead.
She riseth also while it is yet night.
See that? How many of you got wives that do that? My grandmother used to do that. She get up and prepare food and everything for people to go to work. Man, you guys, your wife is not like that. I don't even know your wife, but I know she's not like that. She probably tell you, nigga, get up and make us some breakfast. He going in there making damn breakfast. There's nothing wrong with that. You know, sometimes that's what you want to do, but this should not be your primary function. You should not play reverse roles. But this is exactly what the society has taught us, and this is why our marriages are falling and failing. Go ahead, up.
She rises also while it is yet night, and giveth meat to her household.
So she's supposed to be giving us proper nutrition. Go ahead, read.
And a portion to her maidens.
Right.
16. She considereth a field and buyeth it.
So you see that, Joshua? You see how you said you wanted to learn how to grow crops? These Eves are supposed to know this, man. These Eves are supposed to know this, man. Go ahead, read.
Considereth a field and buyeth it. With the fruit of her hands, she planteth a vineyard.
So women, we can stop right there, brother. Women are supposed to prepare the food. So it's very, very important. This is a very, very important position in every nation, General Yashabam, because food is what sustains life. Everything eats. If you don't eat, you're going to die. Yet too many Israelite women, AKA so-called Black women, complain about cooking and feeding her family. The younger modernized ones, I don't know how to cook. Like, that's something to be proud of, man. And she don't know how to cook. What the hell a man want you for? She'll throw something in the microwave, pop something in the microwave, or tell him to get it himself, popping a damn neck. What kind of man want a woman like that if he's a real man?
None of
I mean? What kind of man wants a woman like that? That's sickening, man. That's sickening. So she does not see being, a good wife that knows how to prepare a nutritious meal as preserving life. This is a preserving life duty. The only connection, again, that she has to a diet is when she's trying to lose weight. Otherwise, she's throwing something together for a family 10 to 15 minutes on processed food. So the so-called Black men, you must insist that your woman study these things about food and make determinations about which items is best for digestion, which items are best for growth and longevity in life. By simply doing this, she could single-handedly decide whether or not we extend our life of her family with planned nutritious meals or destroy it by delivering up quickly prepared, preservative-filled, valueless foods designed just to fill your stomach and send you to an early grave. So the only way the so-called Black man will live a healthier and stronger life is for the so-called Black woman to take on her responsibilities concerning nutrition. It is a must. This is how we change this nation. Let's get Titus 2, verse 3. This is how we're going to have to change this nation, man. Not the subject that they thought, huh?
Book of Titus, chapter 2, verse 3. The aged women likewise, that they be in behavior as becometh holiness.
That means to be set apart. That means you're not to be like these other women. Now, a lot of women like to take this one. I'm not an aged woman. You see what I'm saying? A lot of women, she'll say, well, I'm in my 30s. I'm not an aged woman. Well, what the hell are you then? This is a time when you start to hit your 30s, your eggs are starting to leave. You see what I'm saying? It's not like a man. A man can impregnate a woman well into his 60s, sometimes 70. By the time she hits 40, son, her eggs are depreciating. You see what I'm saying? So the aged woman is speaking more of the mature mind woman, not a specific age. You understand? So she's supposed to teach these younger sisters how to be set apart, meaning holy. Go ahead, read on.
Not false accusers,
Not liars.
not given to much wine.
That's one of the most disgusting things that you could see as a damn drunken woman. That disgusts me. That incenses me when I see a drunken woman, because she'll always use that as a crutch to where she end up having sex with someone. Okay.
And teachers of good things.
So teachers are good things. Okay.
Verse 4, that they may teach the young women to be sober,
Yeah, to be clear-minded.
to love their husbands.
Yeah, to love their husband, not to be a smart mouth, not to be a busybody, not to be up in his face. You stay in your lane. Okay.
To love their children. Verse 5, to be discreet.
Yeah, not all loud, you know what I mean? With those shoes on that be clunking, with the pumps on, yeah, with the ankle bracelets and all of that, trying to attract a lot of attention to yourself on Facebook and social media with all kind of damn makeup on. Then you'll lie and say you're not trying to attract men. Okay.
Chase, keepers at home, good.
So they hate that. Many of these E's love to be out in the streets. The Lord said, be keepers at home. And I'm gonna hit you something. All you young men under the sounds of our voice, when you see a bunch of women going out, hanging out, I'm gonna tell you something, brother. She's up to no damn good. When your woman, I don't give a damn what she's telling you, you better listen to what I'm saying, man. I'm giving you the game, man. I'm giving you the game. When your woman goes out with a bunch of women, she's up to no damn good. She's up to no good. So you keep a close watch on a shameless daughter. Whatever she's doing, oh yeah, we just going to hang out. And well, you could do that at home. They could come over to your house and hang out right there. She hanging out, you know, they go into the club. She's up to no good, brother. You better keep a close watch on a shameless daughter. Go ahead, read.
Good, obedient to their own husbands, that the word of God be not blasphemed.
Now this is very important right here. So what the Lord is saying right there through Titus is that if a wife is not obedient to her own husband, she's blaspheming the word of the Most High. Blasphemy is an unforgivable sin. How many women are guilty of this? Oh yeah, I'm working on it. And so. Yeah, well, there's no such damn thing. Show me that in scripture. Show me one scripture in the Bible where the Lord said you could work on something. He simply says, obey me. And when you don't do it, judgment's coming. There's no such damn thing as working on it. Either you do it or you don't. See, that's an excuse. And so when someone says they're working on something, you know what the next thing becomes? Well, when are you going to be done working on it? See, that's an excuse to continue that behavior. When someone say they're working on something, because when were you done? See, if you're like me, Inquiry Minds wants to know, when will you be done working on it? Within the next 10 minutes? Within the next 2 days? Within the next 2 months? Within the next 10 years? When will you be done working on it? You see what I'm saying? That's an indirect answer. That's an indefinite answer. So that excuses them when they keep doing whatever it is. This is why the Lord says obedience is better than sacrifice. Obey me. That's the laws of the Most High. And since your husband is like God unto you, I know they don't like the way that sounds. They don't like saying man. This is why a lot of grown women say, oh, that's my boyfriend. He ain't your damn boyfriend. He's a grown-ass man. He ain't your damn boyfriend. You see what I'm saying? They hate to say man because that man carries authority with it. You understand what I'm saying? Oh, well, yeah, that's my boyfriend. She 40 years old talking about she got a boyfriend. No, he's a man. And you're going to acknowledge him as a man because we're going to teach him how to be men. And you're going to submit to him. Or you're going to be over there with Shanae in there. Ghetto Fabulous. Go ahead, huh?
Oh, that was it on that.
All right. So, let's get 2 Timothy 3 verse 5. So also, I'm gonna hit you with something also before he gets that. You Israelite men, you so-called black men, you should not allow women to put you out every time she get upset with you. You should not allow her to put you out of the house every time she gets mad. She wants someone to lead. Let her be the one to lead. It is not her house. It belongs to the both of you. You so-called black men, you Israelite men, you must start taking a positive form and observation of what's going on in your home. You got to start looking at the condition of the home. Look at the condition of your children. What are your women wearing? You got to pay attention to this. What is she wearing? Look at how she dressed when she goes out. Does she look like that around the house? If not, if you see her dressing up to go out and she like a damn bum around you, she's trying to get someone else's attention. I'm giving you the game, man. I'm giving you the game.
Mm-hmm.
I'm giving you the game, Ken. Now you could think it's a bunch of nonsense all you want, but if you don't listen to me, you're gonna be looking like mud. You got to start taking control of that household. You also need to know what happens in your absence, right? Is she turning your children against you? So if the so-called black man, watch this. If the so-called black man, the Israelite man, right, happens to stay away from home for an ungodly length of time, according to his woman, right? Let's say he stayed out overnight, right? Or he stayed out 2 days, 3 days, 4 days, 6 days. So the so-called black woman, she'll start not cleaning the house, probably. At first, she starts to worry that she's alone. Then she tells her so-called best friend, like he ain't come home. I haven't seen him in 2-3 days. Then she tells her family. Then she'll make unusual calls all around town, try to see if anyone's seen him. So she'll try and check places where he regularly hangs out and so on and so forth. And if she's exhausted all of her resources, all of her routine channels, you know what happened next? She'll start to get angry. She becomes furious that he's actually disappeared on her, right? Without a trace. And he didn't call and tell her where he is. Now she's more concerned about his whereabouts and who he's with than his physical safety. Listen to what I'm saying, brothers. She's more concerned about who you're with and your whereabouts and whether or not you're safe. This is how their minds has been warped by this Western society. You understand? We got to change all of this, right? And so if and when the so-called black man shows back up, she's already plotting in her mind how she's going to deal with you, man. It's going to be a terroristic activity when you show back up. She imagines in her mind, all this time in her mind, she's been imagining the worst catastrophic things that's possible. Now, she's not worried about tragedies that could have happened to you. She's not worried about whether you've been sick or that you suffer some kind of bodily harm, but tragedies about you having gone for good or you being with another woman and not loving her anymore. This is how their mind thinks, man. It's not in the right place. It would be wise of her, right? I'm telling you, sisters, it would be wise if you plan how she will handle and greet her husband upon his return. And, he'll probably have a good explanation, but her mind doesn't concentrate on that. But her mind should be saying, well, he'll probably have a good explanation when he returns. If she's wise, she will use her time constructively, right? She will overhaul the house. She will redo the closets or something like that. She will prepare a surprise for her husband, welcome him home. But that's not what brothers usually get. She will be, wise to think, well, things are going to be fine, right? And that based on his dependability, I know he's going to still love me. But the average Eve don't think that way, man. Her mind has been destroyed by Western society. And we have to change all of that. Now, from there, let's deal with these wicked Israelite men that's been marrying multiple wives. They don't work. I don't mean the women. The women, most of them are on public assistance, or the woman's working. And this Israelite, he said, well, I'm a priest. I don't have to work. You're supposed to take care. This literally goes on. ISUPK was teaching a class on this. Their women take care of many of them. Same thing with Zabak, man. This is going on throughout the so-called nation of Israel. You got a lot of these lazy behind men that have women taking care of them. And some of them are saying right now, let me show you how abased their minds are. They're probably saying, Tazadaq, you're just jealous. No, I can never put myself in that kind of place, man. That will make me seem less than a man because it's contrary to scripture. But at the same time, these men are called themselves prophets and priests. In total opposition to the scriptures. In total opposition to the scriptures. So from there, let's get the book of 1 Timothy 3, verse 5.
Start at 2.
2 Timothy?
2 Timothy 3, verse 5. Come on.
2 Timothy chapter 3, verse 5. Having a form of godliness, but denying the power thereof, from such turn away.
Come on. So some of these men, like Zabak, he has a form of godliness, but the Lord said, from such turn away. They appear to be righteous, right? They appear to be righteous, but they're not. These are the wolves in sheep's clothing. These are the wolves in sheep's clothing. From there, let's get Titus 1 and 16. Does someone have the link to that so that people could call in? Because we want people to call in and express their views on this topic right here about these men that's marrying multiple women so they could get these women to take care of them. If someone got the link and they posted it in the room on YouTube so people could actually call in, I could try and go back. Someone get that on Titus 1 and 16. So yeah, call in. If you know anyone that's actually undergoing this, if you was a sister that was actually undergoing this, some man was using you and another sister, maybe one or two more sisters to take care of his lazy behind, you should put him on blast. We know for sure that Zabak is guilty of this, man. So-called Israelite, nothing but a damn pimp. No, a lot of these Israelites are no different than these damn preacher pimps. That's what the hell you are, damn preacher pimp.
Titus 1:16. They profess that they know God, but in works they deny him, being abominable and disobedient, and unto every good work reprobate.
Come on. So is this not what they do? Do they not profess to know the Most High? Do they not profess to know the Most High? But it's not what they're doing. They're not doing what he says. They profess to know the Most High, but they're not doing what he says. They're not doing thus saith the Lord. And there's a deluge of Israelite men that's guilty of this. So I'm posting a number, all you people on YouTube, I'm posting a number and the links in the room so that you could actually call in, especially if there's any sisters that's been involved with any of these no good men that, you know, I mean, it's nothing to be embarrassed of, because these men needs to be put on blast. They don't want to work. They won't take care of their children. They might have children by this sisters, children by that sister, and the men are not working. And the sisters has to work. Now I know personally, because over the years, some sisters actually call me up and talk to me about it. He won't work. I don't know what to do. Well, sis, you shouldn't have married into that. Right? He won't work. He won't work for nothing, you know? Negro won't work in a pie shop. Won't work in a pie shop. If you heard that expression before. Let's go to 2 Thessalonians 3:10.
Second Thessalonians 3:10. For even when we were with you, this we commanded you, that if any would not work, neither should he eat.
Right. So if they're not working, now so explain that one. Get Zabak out of that one. Get ISUPK out of that one. So if he doesn't work, the Lord said he's not supposed to eat. It is a man's responsibility to provide. This doesn't necessarily mean you have to work for Esau, but you have to work. And you got to eat to live. So the Lord said, if anyone is not willing to work, let him not eat. Don't feed him. Stop giving him tithe. Stop giving him tithes. Stop giving him priest dues. Stop giving him arms. Niggas don't want to work, let his behind starve. Because if he's not working, he's not taking care of his children. He's not taking care of his home. And we read earlier that Negro's worse than an infidel, a non-believer.
God, that next verse says all that. Verse 11 says, for we hear that there are some which walk among you disorderly, working not at all,
right,
but a busybody.
Come on. Wait, busybody meaning they running from place to place, General Yashabam, just talking about other people. Just busybodies, right? Go ahead, read.
Verse 12 says, now them that are such we command and exhort by the Lord of Mashiach Yahweh Shah, that with quietness they work and eat their own bread.
Con. From the beginning, man. Let me show you guys from the beginning. A man is supposed to work. There's no damn way around it, Zabak. There's no way around that ISUPK. A man is supposed to work and provide for his. From the beginning. Let's get the book of Genesis 2:15 to prove all things. One of the first things the Most High told him that the man had to work to keep it in the garden. You had to work by the sweat of your brow.
Genesis 2, verse 15. And the Lord God took the man and put him into the Garden of Eden to dress it and to keep it.
That word dress it means to work it and to keep it. You could place that word dress it, to work it and to keep it, because to dress it means he was doing work. So you had to work from the beginning when you was placed in that garden. From there, let's go to Ephesians 4:28. Ephesians 4:28. Till the ground. That's right. Till the ground.
Ephesians chapter 4, verse 28. Let him that stole steal no more, but rather let him labor, working with his hands.
Con. You see how Zabak was stealing out of the treasury when the brothers in Jersey had to leave him? It says, let him that steal no more. And that means stop stealing men's ribs also.
Con, with his hands, the thing which is good, that he may have to give to him that needeth.
Con. From there, let's deal with some more of these slackers, these Israelite so-called priests. I'm not going to call them priests. So-called priests. They're nothing but modern day Pharisees, man, that don't want to work. Proverbs 18, verse 9. And again, if there's any sisters or brothers or anyone on the call that, know any of these men, put them on blast, man. Don't be ashamed to call in. The number's actually posted here in the room. Go ahead and give a call in. Speak out. Speak up and speak out against it.
Terrence, see, we can hear you whispering over there.
Yeah, we can hear him. Man.
My bad.
Yeah, I've been hearing you all along.
Proverbs 18 and 9. He also that is slothful in his work is brother to him that is a great waster.
Right. So, in other words, whoever is slack in his work, meaning he doesn't like to work, he's not working enough, is a brother to him who destroys. I mean, you destroys. There's a brother to him who destroys. From there, let's go to Colossians 3 and 23. Colossians 3, verse 23.
Colossians chapter 3, verse 23. And whatsoever ye do, do it heartily, as unto the Lord, and not unto men. Colossians 3 and 23. And whatsoever ye do, do it heartily, as unto the Lord, and not unto men.
Con. Yeah, that's spot on. That's spot on. From there, let's go to 1 Peter 3 and 7. So these men, I mean, really they're pimps, man. It's no way around it. They're like so-called preacher pimps. You want to take care of your children. You know, you got your woman, your wives taking care of you. You're just like a preacher pimp. You're no different than the so-called these men out here in the church that they be talking about. You're the same thing. You got Israelites doing the same exact thing. You're damn preacher pimps, and you're a disgrace to our nation. And we're gonna expose you behind. That's a disgrace to our nation, man. And so, you know, these sisters that go for that, they have to have some form of low self-esteem. You understand what I'm saying? You know, you got, 3, 4 women, and they're taking care of this man that won't work. This man, some of these men are like large in stature, man. 6'3", 6'4". Big overgrown men, man. And they have their wives going out working for them. And then the wives, their mind are so warped that they're trying to defend them. That's a destroyed mind right there. You're supposed to have your place in order, man, before you even get a woman. The scriptures say a man's supposed to leave his mother and his father. In order to do that, you got to have your own house. You got men that got children, man, they living in their stepfather's house, living in their mom's house. You got men that go out in the box camp, they still living in their mom's house. You guys heard the females that came on the call. Man, still living in his mom's house, man, in the back room in the damn projects.
It's 11 o'clock.
You're 35 years old, you're still living in your mom's house. That you call yourself a priest and you're out here teaching our people. That's a disgrace, man. Our people need to wake the heck up and call these men, these Pharisees, for what they are, man. Someone got that, man? 1 Peter 3, verse 7. Did you read that? From there, if you got that, read James 2 and 26. It's a disgrace, man. You need to call these people out, man.
1 Peter 3 and 7. Likewise, ye husbands, dwell with them according to knowledge, giving honor unto the wife as unto the weaker vessel, and as being heirs together for the grace of life, that your prayers be not hindered.
Con. So, you got to give honor to her as a weaker vessel. The Most High won't even hear your prayers. James 2 and 18. James 2 and 18.
Verse 18. Yea, a man may say, thou hast faith, and I have works. Show me thy faith without thy works, and I will show thee my faith by my works.
Con. So does anyone have anything? I mean, they want to say regarding to this. Does anyone know any of these people that I'm actually referring to? Is there any sisters that been actually pretty much taken advantage of based upon this? Any men that know any guys like this? A lot of these camps out there, they have this going on. That the men won't work. They got wives just taking care of them. The men won't work. These Israelite men won't work. They're standing on corners. They're telling you how, and their primary doctrine is Esau, 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 Esau. How they hate Esau. But then they'll go to their woman who may be on public assistance and gets Esau on fiat. Explain that.
No,
Anyone want to speak to this?
There's no explanation for that. And I mean, by default, men, you're gonna come across a woman that'll present that offer to you. Don't go for it ever, because what that's doing, whether you're in the truth or not, is retarding your development of becoming a man from the beginning, from the inception of that so-called relationship. That is a no-go. Because you're never going to be able to stand. You're never going to be able to stand. That's just pretty much it. You're going directly against the scriptures. So I'm very curious myself to hear what the explanation or the or what doctrine in the Bible that some of these guys use. Because even if you do get in that state, you can see it and correct it, but they choose to stay in that state. That's the opposite of the direction of family. I've never read Moses, Aaron, Joshua, or Yahweh Shah, David, Saul, Nehemiah, Gideon, Boaz. The names go on and on. All the men that that's presented to us in the word never behaved like that. So I'm curious myself. So if there's anybody out there that that was a victim, please do come forth, because I'm going to tell you right now, based on what's written, the Spirit of the Most High is not in those men, if that's where they rest at.
Anyone on the call that want to call in? Anyone has the heart to call in, want to speak on this? You could click on the link and call in. Anyone else got anything? Anyone else on the call got anything of these pimps, these preachers, pimp preachers amongst Israelites? Anyone want to speak up? Mikael, you're very quiet tonight. I haven't heard a peek out of you.
I was actually very tired tonight, but I made it to this meeting. That's why I haven't been on. I had a very long day working on a lot of different things, especially negotiable instruments. So it's a lot of creative energy going into research. However, as far as this information is concerned, it's a phenomenon. It's like the rock star phenomenon. All these women, they want something different. They all want something unique, something to go for, and they got these guys dressed up the way they dress up. It's different from the regular, and they just want to be entertained, I guess, and they think it's like the celebrity of it all. Same with gangbangers. They go for these kinds of guys because a lot of times they're the ones that aren't afraid of the repercussions of the police and involvement in the court system, which, like you said, the three numbers that they know, they want to run to that. And then, you have the brothers that want to go out and make more of their lives and get involved in work. But the quick thing, they want to, have these clubs talking about how effective you are as a man. You even have some that just recently, the other day, I was getting my haircut. These women are in there doing what they're doing, and they want to start talking about
how their exes, they go back to their exes. They're trying to figure out what people are doing for Valentine's Day, and they want to start talking about the things that they found wrong with their mate, and then looking at me like as if I'm supposed to be attracted to that type of thing. Like, hey, you're talking about what guys don't do right by you, and the men you've given time to, and they invested in you, and then you want to talk about how they didn't, if they'll be with you until you find somebody that treats you better. Like you keep going back to your ex because he is, basically available. Like, I mean, it's ridiculous. And plus, it's society media allows these women. It shapes, molds their minds, makes them believe, that they have the power and the right to suppress you and put you down, put you in a box, or show you this in these soap operas and television shows where the man is supposed to acquiesce to his female, and she could pull the plug on you, even if you invested all this effort into getting into this relationship, and if she in 3 days could kick you to the curb and everything, and then she'll be on to the next dude that she kept in the pool
Yep. Gone.
of suitors, while you're there trying to recover for 3 months from the loss, and God forbid you might have kids or some other assets tied up, and of course there was no prenuptial agreement, and she might be able to say you're excuse my language, but you ain't shit because you might have had some hard times, and if the two of you are not financially in a great position, that's not good. That's not good at all. And I'm new to the Israelite faith and learning some of these things I'm not aware of. I'm coming from a background where you're supposed to have one wife. A woman's supposed to have one husband. I'm aware of multiple wives in scripture, but also there's Deuteronomy 17. I believe it's 17:17. You're not supposed to multiply silver and gold nor wives to yourself, lest your heart turn away from God. But the men, like Samuel's father, he had the two wives that he had, and he was still following Yahweh. So I think it's really dependent on how seriously you take him, and what he decides to do to bless you and extend your the tent's borders, and increase your quiver of children. So I'm just in a position where I'm being humble. I'm working on my life right now. In fact, I sent you an email. I sent you a couple emails about critical life changing things that I'm doing. So I'm just trying to learn, be humble, be a student, and recognize and know my place and my position, and contribute where I can. That's what my focus is. I'm honestly MGTOW right now. I'm not trying to be involved in any type of relationships. I'm not on the market. I have women that are trying to figure me out. I'm running from bad women to it also, and I'm just trying to steer clear of the nonsense and all of that foolishness, because I don't entertain that kind of controversy, and I definitely don't argue with women, and I do not feed into that nonsense when they start. And when they get that out of their system, you could talk to me or whatever. You want to be silent, we can be silent. Because at the end of the day, there's a lot of women. They're everywhere, every single day, and there's nothing to be, running to cry, call out to Yahweh and run to the hills, trying to say, yeah, proclaiming this woman or that. There's women everywhere, and I know that. I can leave if I want. So I'm not really, I'm not stressing about anything. I don't care who gets upset if what I'm saying right now. Doesn't bother me. I've been through whatever, and that's that. So I agree with what you're saying. A man is a man. He's the trunk. He's a trunk, and she is the trees or the fruit, whichever. She's supposed to be the glory of us. Of us as men. but we're supposed to be the glory under Yahweh, and He's our glory. So if we're not reflecting what His light, and we are not exhibiting leadership, then you know what? The whole tree, the root, the fruit, everything is going to be corrupted, and nothing good is going to come from it. And Yahweh Himself, He said He'll set the daughter and against the mother, and the mother against the son, and the husband. Everybody will be in upheaval if the household is not under Yahweh Shah, it's not under Him. So it gives us that right there. I mean, it's not hard. It's plain statement of facts. And that's all I got for you. I'm just chilling right now.
Come. Anyone else? Anyone else gonna? I seen someone call in. Someone logged in 262 area code. Anything you want to bring up? 262 area code.
In order to unmute yourself, 262, you got to press *6 since you called in. Now to unmute yourself for the for Zoom for you to speak. There you
Hello.
we can hear you. We can hear you.
First of all, I want to say I love you, Tazadaq. I watch you every time I get a chance. When I see you live, I try to jump on there. So I just wanted to say hi to everybody that's in the room.
Shalom, brother.
Shalom.
Yeah. I don't really relate to the Israelite and the Pimps or whatever. I feel like I wish there was a way that we can save our future generations and somehow teach, because I'm pretty familiar with the word. I was raised in a church. My grandma was a church. My grandma raised 3 boys, my brothers, and so I'm familiar with the background of everything. So I just kind of wanted to say, like, in all humbleness, that, I think it would be nice if, like the Israelites would somehow try to school them, but I feel like they're too old enough and they're too stuck in their ways. So I'm basically I'm trying to sugarcoat it, but I feel like, man, it's like this with everybody. If you're gonna pick who you're who you're gonna blast, I would feel like we shouldn't, like, we should try to come together, and I wish I think, Tazadaq, and you're wise, and God's able to deal with you, and of something that we can come up with to actually draw them in, instead of because obviously we know it's wrong, what they're doing, or what everybody's doing, and what they're doing. But
when you say they, who are you talking about, brother? When you say it's wrong what they are doing, who are you referring to?
The pimps, or the pimps, the people that's not trying to stay in the will of God.
Well, I mean, we're actually talking about Israelite men out there that they have 2, 3, some 4 wives, and the men don't work, and the women are taking care of them. So we was asked people to call in to give their perception, or how do they feel about that. I mean, just based on the words of the Most High, that's off, man. And so that's a choice. You do understand that, brother, right? These men are very conscious of what they're doing. So this is something that's actually intentionally done.
So is it wrong to have 4 wives, or is it wrong not to work?
No, it's not wrong to have 4 wives if you can afford them. The nation of Israel was built off a man that had 4 wives. Did you know that Jacob had 4 wives? That's what the nation of Israel came out of. He had 2 sisters, and both of their sisters had slaves that's referred to as handmaids. And so the nation of Israel was built off of those 4 women and Jacob. So it obviously can't be wrong. because the Most High, he chose those people as his nation of people, as a special people, according to the book of Deuteronomy 7, verse 6. So I mean, and again, I could go on and on. You know, Solomon, David, Moses. You know, these men had throughout the scriptures. I've done a video on that, so it's not wrong. Only in westernized society is wrong, and the church that you was raised in, it was probably wrong, because you're taught that, and you can't justify it biblically, that a man is only supposed to have one wife and a wife is only supposed to have one husband, and they try to misconstrue Hamashiach's words, saying, well, you see, he only had one wife here. He said from the beginning.
Yeah, and not to cut you off, but I agree with you, bro, and I agree with that, because to anyone who has the spirit and that really has a strong relationship with God, it would come to them. I mean, it's not so much of whether it's right or wrong, you know, and I feel like a lot of times it's you know, like you say, it's westernized, so it's like we've been trained to think a certain way.
Yeah, it comes from their core beliefs, brother. Like a core belief is someone that's actually been instilled into them. So from that core belief, that's going to be their perspective of everything that they're exposed to from their core belief. So now when they're introduced to something, even if it's the truth, if that truth conflicts with their core belief, they're going to reject the truth for the lie, because that lie was their core belief. But go ahead, continue, good brother.
So the reason why I'm calling in is I'm glad that you kept this in context. It was kind of hard for me, but do you think they know that they're wrong when they're not working? Obviously, this is an issue that they should already know that we shouldn't be talking about. That's why I'm calling, because I'm like, man, obviously those guys know, like, you know, that
they know,
they're not in the will of God.
These men are out calling themselves priests. Many of them, they're out calling themselves priests. You know, many of these men, they have many children, and so I'm telling you firsthand, brother. In the past, a couple of these sisters had called me and said, "I don't know what to do. He won't work. He doesn't take care of the children. Like, you know, I'm trying to give him money, and one sister's giving him money to help take care of the other sister. So it causes a conflict. You see what I'm saying?
Yeah. Yeah, so that's probably why you shouldn't have 4 wives. That's probably why.
But if you can afford them, here it goes back again, brother. It's for men that can afford that, right? It's for men.
Yeah.
Again, when you look in the scriptures, brother, like I was saying, like, you know, a room or something now is kind of like referred to as a tent, right? So in other words, if a man had these women, he would at least have to have a big enough house that each one of these women could actually be separated to be in their own tent. You see what I'm saying?
Yep.
Because that's how it was.
Yeah.
Each of these women had their own tent. They weren't all compiled in one bed, because that's known as fornication when you read the book of Leviticus, the 18th chapter. You don't have 2 women. That's wickedness, man. That's filth.
I feel like it's all about coming under someone's authority. Like, if a woman recognizes that, you know, this is something that could possibly be the will of God. I don't know if, like, I don't really know if they have direct. Obviously, do you believe that they have direct connection with God? Do you think?
As
in like women?
No.
Like, in the sense of, like, as men, you know what I mean? Like, would they be able to be like, okay, well, I know this is what I'm supposed to be doing. Like, I'm going to get under his authority. And because.
Well, I think, you know, these women that go for it, I think many of them, you know, they probably, they have low self-esteem or something happened in their life to even, you know, be working, you know, I mean, it's kind of like a reverse role, right? Like, because even if you go back to primitive times, right? The man would go out and hunt and provide for the woman and child, right? That you can't change the nature of something, right? You can't change the nature. This is why the scriptures say if she provides for her husband, you know, she becomes bitter, and I'm paraphrasing this, and she becomes angry, right? Because it's not in her nature to take care of a man.
Yeah, and I'm going through that now, man. Just that's how I know, like, I don't know. I'm going through that now. Like, she's paying the bills right now, and she's helping me out. And I was kind of like homeless about a year and a half ago. She got me a car after like a couple months after knowing me, just to help me get back and forth to work. We ended up having a baby. So she's and I've been working, but she doesn't take my money. And but I still help out when I can, obviously.
Check this out. I would say, you know, if she's keeping the laws and all of this, I can't really call her a good woman because it's only from a financial standpoint. But I'm saying, when a woman supports you like that, you got to remember her when you come up. You understand what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Because she's trying to stand by you. You see what I'm saying? You can't forget that. You got to remember her. You understand what I'm saying?
Oh, and I will. Yeah, because it's in my heart, man. Like, I feel like, and this kind of goes into what you were saying about God's grace. That's why a lot of times women are in that situation where their man ain't working or don't want to work. And I feel like that's even worse, that they don't want to work. Like, I just can't even comprehend that, you know, because
but that's the difference, though, King. The men that I'm talking about, they purposely don't work. The women are complaining about they won't go out and look for jobs. She's looking for jobs for him. I had one sister tell me she was looking for jobs for him. He wouldn't go to the job interview. Well, I'm not going to work anyway. Child support is just going to take it. Excuse after excuse. But you have a responsibility to look after your sons and daughters, don't you?
So I could Khan, I have a question.
Yeah.
Are these debtors we're talking about? Because it sounds like we're talking about a lot of debtors.
Yeah. Of course.
No doubt.
Obviously, they're debtor Israelites. They're debtor to the cores, man.
Okay. I just needed to acknowledge and confirm that. Thank you.
So 262, you got in Ecclesiasticus, Book of Sirach, chapter 25, verse 22, and it reads, "A woman, if she maintain her husband, is full of anger, impotency, and much reproach." She is upset with you. She is no longer turned on by you. She is turned off, and basically she plotting, you know, against you. You know what I'm saying?
I think, and that's crazy that you say that, man. Like, I appreciate you guys obeying the Lord, because I can, you know, people can sense when it's authentic, you know, and you guys coming from a good place, so I appreciate that. But to the topic, and I'm gonna be short after this. Yeah, and I see it every day, and I'm going through it every day. And we have a child together, 7 months old. His name's Kobe. So, you know, I feel like, you know, she's probably just a little like she has two kids on her own too. So she has a 10-year-old and a 12-year-old. The oldest is a girl and the youngest is a boy. And so,
forgive me. Let me go ahead and finish. I was just letting you know where a woman's mindset come from. Now, the encouragement that Tazadaq was giving you was from Ecclesiasticus chapter 7, verse 19. "Forgo not a wise and good woman, for her grace is far above gold." So right now, you know, she is your, you know, she's helping you bridge. So when you do, like you said you was going to, this is where you gotta meet her at. That's how you gotta, you know, you gotta treasure her. You know, if you know, you coming from a good place, when you get back, you know, on your feet, then, you know, it's all good, you know. So
yeah, and I know it work out like that, but I'm gonna say this and I'm gone. But basically what I call for is because I feel like a lot of times people will take it the wrong way. Like, obviously maybe God hasn't showed him or revealed it to him. I don't know if they're like, we don't know if they're just out blatantly like disobeying the Lord. Like, hey, I'm not trying to work.
I know some of these dudes personally. So I'm telling you, that's exactly what they're doing. Some of these dudes, man, I've been knowing, I'm talking 15, years or more, and they haven't worked that entire time.
Con, and based on the testimony of
Well, I was, yeah.
they've testified to that on video that was put out about 2 and 3 weeks ago. So it's
Well, we should just pray for the wives then, and pray for their family, obviously, man. Try to reach out to them, maybe have someone else reach out to the wives and try to keep them in good spirits. Obviously, if the man is not trying to work, I despise that fully, and you know, so I feel like we should just all come together, try to fix this, because it's everywhere. And that's only one certain area. There's a lot of other areas that obviously I wish that there was like groups, you know, and we can like support our own, you know what I mean, and somehow
Right, that's what we're trying to do now, King. That's what we're trying to do now. We're trying to put together a community like that. But here's the thing, brother, that I don't think you may be grasping, right? This is intentionally done, right? These men, they get multiple wives to get their women. They literally teach women by scripture that they're not supposed to work because they're priests, that she's supposed to take care of him, and she's supposed to give her. This is a doctrine that's taught in ISUPK, man. These women, many of them, I mean, there's been a couple of sisters that made videos about this. These women give their checks to their husbands. Now, I mean, from one paradigm, they could kind of justify that because he's supposed to determine, you know, the organization of the household, but he's supposed to be working also. You understand what I'm saying? He's not supposed to be going out and get multiple wives so he could have these women to take care of him. And he tells the women, "Oh, I got to go out and teach, so I shouldn't have to work." Hold on. What about 1 Timothy 5 verse 8? Anyone that does not provide for his household, and especially for his, you know, his family, especially his own household, has denied the faith and is worse than an unbeliever. Understand what I'm saying? There's no way out of that. A man is supposed to be a provider. Like we went over, I don't know if he was on the call from the beginning, when the Most High put Adam in the garden, and when they went off, the Lord said, "You got to work from the sweat of your brow. You got to work." That was one of the things that he put on Adam. You're gonna have to work to eat now. So you know that that's non-optional for a man. But he's telling, "Well, I'm a priest, so you're not taking care of your own household. You got your women taken care of." He don't have, you know, they're not collecting priest dues from an organization. Many of these men I'm talking about, brother, they have multiple wives, and the wives are taking care of them. And many of these women, some of them complained about it. Some of them are silent.
Well,
but some of them are probably, you know, glad we're talking about this right now. And so somebody understands.
Con, that's Genesis 2 and 15 from the beginning, when the Most High put man on the earth, and it reads, "And the Lord God took the man and put him in the Garden of Eden to dress it," that means to work it, "and to keep it."
Con.
So that's in our nature.
Yeah, they're nothing but bums, man. They're Hebrew bums. These men are preacher pimps with Hebrew attire on. They're no different than these men that you see in these churches that be pimping these, like a lot of these preachers, man. They sleep with men's wives, man. Women are not supposed to go to a preacher. A woman is not supposed to go to a preacher for counsel. That's off. You can't find that in the scripture. That conflicts with Sirach 9 verse 9. She's supposed to go to her husband and they take it to the Most High. If they're to go to counsel, they're supposed to go together. A woman is never supposed to meet another man that is not her husband in private. That's against the laws of the Most High, man. And it happens all the time in this wicked world.
It don't even make sense. I mean, why would you allow your wife to go? I mean, that's why it's so hard for me to find a church home right now. And that's why it's like, because it's hard for me to, because like I look at them and then I'd be like, you know, like there's a lot more the work to be done out here. You know what I mean? Out here in the streets, but I see it every day, bro. And I'm so glad that you're talking about it. I wish a lot of people can hear it.
Cool. Yeah. Appreciate it, brother. Maybe you share it with a couple people, a couple more brothers wake up, a couple more sisters wake up, and see what's really going on. Because you really have a lot of hypocritical people out here, man. And they, they use the words of the Most High to shield their gutter religion, their gutter beliefs. Anyone else? What you got, Craig?
Not much, man. Like, I'm coming in kind of late.
All right.
It's crazy.
Anyone else got anything? What about Terrence and Tekas?
Man, through the whole conversation, I was kind of thinking about some stuff I used to go through almost 20 years ago, man. It was a Hebrew brother. It was a Kahan, which I didn't know. I didn't know him, but the Kahan that I was going through, he knew the other Kahan. That's how they communicate.
Right.
He had another woman he was dating or whatever. But
Salaka, for those of you that don't understand what Kahan means, that's a Lashawam Hakadash word for priest. All right, go ahead, brother.
And he had his main wife, but the main wife didn't know about the other sister that he was seeing. So what he did, he shipped her off to Texas out of Ohio. Shipped her off to Texas, and shipped her to the Kahan that I was up under. So what the Kahan I was up under, what he did was saying the times where he worked 2 full-time jobs, he got his own house, and blah, 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 this. So he was basically putting her off on me. At the time, I didn't even know her. She was just another sister that came into the group.
Right.
We started seeing each other. We started dating, blah, started dating things. Then she kept mentioning about the Kahan in Ohio.
So hold on. Did she tell you that she had been involved with this brother? Because that's adultery right there.
No, she didn't tell me. She didn't tell me
That's
nothing
wicked.
like that. The only
That's
thing she
wicked
told me
right
that
there. You see what I'm saying?
she had
That's
2
wicked.
kids. She had 2 kids that came to Texas with her, and she had an ex-husband, but it wasn't the Kahan. It wasn't the Kahan. It was just some other dude. That was it. And I took it from there. And so what happened was the Kahan that I was up under and the sister that I was seeing, somehow they got into it. So that's when it all kind of came out. But the Kahan never did tell me that he knew the Kahan out of Ohio, and that was his woman.
Right.
Got me caught up in something that I shouldn't even been in.
But that was Eve's fault. Really? I mean, because she knew it. She knew
it. She knew it. Believe that. It's just I just let that relationship just wither away. It wasn't nothing else, man. But dealing with a lot of it's a lot of learning curves that you gotta kind of deal with. It's like if you in it for real, and you in it all the way. And what I learned when me and you started a conversation, and I told you back, these guys are pimping the game. But, man, they ain't really true because they'll go to different states and say, "Well, I'm going for a brotherhood conference," but at the same time, they'll take another sister and bring her to that state, but leave their wives at home, and the wives don't know nothing about the other woman. But they're using the scriptures saying that they can do this and this and this, and it's all right. But the treatment to the other sister is not the same. She's not equal to the other wife at all. She's just another woman that goes from hotel room to hotel room to conference to conference. And it makes it easier for you to say, man, these dudes ain't doing nothing but just pimping. They're not trying to build a nation of people that want to stay in line with the laws of the Most High.
Come.
And it's like for one step forward, you're trying to get to Most High, but you need the nation with you. It's like you're gonna take 5 steps back because of buffoonery like this that goes on. So it makes the nation real small for the ones who wants to be enlightened by the words of the Most High. I mean, it's another story I want to talk about.
It's a lot of it going on, man. It's a lot of it going on, man. I've seen a lot of wickedness, man, since I've been around what they call the truth. I don't even call a lot of the truth anymore because there's so many demons in here. There's liars. You know what I mean? But there's a lot that goes on, man, that remains concealed. And a lot of these men know that these damn Moabites and these damn Edomites that they're calling Latinos and Hispanics. A lot of them, they know these are not our people, man, but they won't come clean on it. These people had us in slavery, man. These people they call Native Americans and so on, these people had us in slavery, man. When you look at a lot of the so-called Mexicans, man, the reason that their eyes are slanted like that is because they mix with those Moabites, man. Some so-called Mexicans, you can't even tell them from these Moabites, man, that they call Native Americans. They both had slanted eyes, man. There's a mixed seed right there. And they all had us in captivity, man. And I got the artifacts on it. And so why you think none of these people out of One West won't sit down and debate me on this, man? Because they know they can't disprove it. If they thought that they had something against it, then they will come up against it. We asked them, me and FOPE asked them to sit down and debate on this. Why you think they won't sit down and debate? Because they know they're going to be embarrassed and shut down. Because if they had something, they will come forth and say, okay, well, yeah, let's debate it. But they know they're lying to the people. But these walls are slowly coming down, like the pedophiles, like these men that call themselves priests that, they ravage other men's wives. And then the woman goes off, like you're saying, she goes and sleep with some other man. That, according to the Bible, that is a hoe. That is a hoe. Someone else just came in. FOPE. What's going on?
Let him in the room. I don't see nobody up here.
No, FOPE was here for a second, man, but they blinked out. I think it might have been Sharshan.
Okay.
Yeah, man. So that's what's going on, man. And basically, that's why they don't like because of stuff like this. What we're talking about now, man. This is why they don't like us and FOPE, because we be telling the truth. They don't want to admit that, the Most High is raising us up to tell the truth, man. A lot of people don't like it. They get mad. They get in their feelings, but they won't come up against it. They try and get quiet, thinking that it's going to go away. You still got these men out teaching, man, like this dude, Yaqua. He grooming this young child. He's still out teaching. And the only reason that the house of David spoke out against it is because we was putting them on blast so much, man. We was putting them on blast so hard. They had to say something and say, hey, the house of Israel can't come to the summit. If we wasn't blasting them, they wouldn't have done that. They was going to the man in private, which is totally contrary to the book of 1 Timothy 5, verse 20. It says that you rebuke them in the public before everyone, so no one else would do this wicked act. Like these men that's pimping these sisters, we have to rebuke them before everyone, so that these other damn Israelite no good dirty dogs won't go out and try and put. They get taken wife after wife, and this Negro can't even feed him damn self. He out here, talking about banging on Esau, but he can't even feed him damn self, man. He's going. A lot of these would tell sisters to get on public assistance so they could get money from Esau, the same Esau that they claim to hate. There's something very wrong with that picture. But he called himself a man. That's a boy entrapped within a man's body. There's a bot, man. That guy is wicked, man. He needs to step down. And a lot of these men knew it, but none of them had the gonads to call them out. You got to call out wickedness, man. If you really stand up for the Most High, it is imperative that you call out wickedness where you see it. Nah, brother, don't do it. You go to the brother Piger. That's if something's going on between two brothers. You violating another man's wife, you're damaging the entire nation. Terrence just gave you an excellent example right there. She was dealing with a brother over there in Ohio. She come all the way out to Texas and you know, doing her funky behind around out there. And the brother didn't even know it. Something like that could cause people, you know what I mean, get murked behind something like that. It happens all the time in the streets, man. Brothers get fighting over, you know, a harlot that's not even worth it. He ended up in jail. As soon as he go to jail, usually she's with his best friend or the next drug dealer that's online. You can't even call me a liar, man. You can't even call me a liar. Shalom, up. What's going on with you, Shashin?
Shalom, up.
What's going on with you, Shan? What do you got to press to unmute himself, Yashiba?
Nah, he's not muted.
All right.
What's going on with his audio? It looks like he's not muted.
Yeah, man. I mean, but that's what's going on, man. It has to stop, man. These bum Israel, we're gonna keep blasting on them too, man. I don't care who gets mad, whatever. We're gonna keep blasting on them. A lot of this
And that's
in ISUPK. Remember, one of Tazadaq wives had came out talking about he didn't want to work. They taking care of him. You know, a lot of ISUPK. If you go back and look at some of the videos, they was talking about you know, their women. You know, if she can't give him no money, what good is she? One of the brothers was saying that, man. One of the brothers was saying that during a video that I had watched. If the women can't give any, he said, we don't need it. If you can't give nothing, what do we need you for? And so for a woman to remain in an organization like that, after they say something like that, he has to be suffering from some sort of low self-esteem or something of that nature. And for a woman, to know he's with another man, for a woman to remain with a man like Tazadaq, and because I had one of his wives call me, you know what I mean, and say, well, he won't work. He won't take care. This is frustrating me. What do I do? I said, listen, first of all, sis, you shouldn't even be calling me because you done took him as a husband now. You see what I'm saying? You know, I hate that you're going through that, but you got to deal with it. That's a decision you made to be with him. You see what I'm saying? Complaining about he won't work. I mean, he got children over here. He won't take care of his children. Just to say she was getting frustrated with it. But that's not an isolated incident. This is going on throughout Israel. You got a lot of bum Israelite men that's calling themselves priests, but won't even take care of their own household. So they take multiple wives and have the wives take care of them. Bums, man. Bums. Out there with the freshest garments on and so on and so forth. But they're damn bums. And they got a lot of people deceived, man. Like Tazadaq, he has a lot of people deceived. A lot of people really believe that that man is living by what he's saying when he's wicked as hell, man. He's wicked, man. That's a wicked man. And you know he's wicked because that damn pedophile that's in his organization, he didn't speak out against it. And I'm gonna hit you something, man. The only reason in the house of David, I don't have a lot of respect for you guys, man. Masha, Yasha, Allah. I don't have a lot of respect. And this is why these dudes don't like me. You know why? Because I speak the truth. That's why they don't like Kana. That's why I don't like Shashan. Because we're speaking the truth against them. And guess what? The only reason that they spoke out and said, well, the house of Israel can't come to the summit is because it was put on blast. It's because we let the fire into their ass. It didn't give it an option. And so if they didn't do that, people would have been like, yo, what about what FOPE said, man? What about what Tazadaq said, man? They didn't have an option. But you knew, you guys got to admit, because think about it. Before these video came out, Tazadaq was still going to the summits, getting his damn garments ready. Yeah, what's going on? Shalom, they're out there having damn unity camps, and you wicked as hell. You wicked as hell. They're out there have damn unity camps. And most of them, a lot of them dudes out there don't even work. Man, I've been knowing Tazadaq since the 90s, man. I never knew that dude to have a job. He can't even call me a liar, man. Never knew him to have a job, man. Never. And you think about that. So who's been taking care of it? Remember, he was stealing from the treasury. The brothers put it out. The video's still on my channel. He's stealing from the treasury, man. Taking brothers' money. You can't even trust, and then violating the men's wives. And it's still going on. Why? Because they didn't uproot the wickedness then, so the germ was allowed to continue growing. And so now, if FOPE and me wouldn't have been banging on them, things still would have been going, man. So a lot of people, they try and look, well, damn, man, why how come we can't get, you see a lot of people come around, well, how come you don't concentrate on the good? How come we can't get along as a people? How in the hell we can get along with demons like that? Now, how many of you men, just be honest, how many of you men would feel safe with a damn pedophile if you got children with that damn Yahquab coming, to a damn meeting, and you got a young girl over there, a young daughter, and that nasty, filthy, stinking bastard start stalking, just looking at your daughter, man. You want to stomp him out, man.
Not in Atlanta.
Yeah, keep it a buck.
In Atlanta, no, it ain't going down like that. But 1 Timothy 5:20, them that sin, rebuke before all, that others also may fear.
Right, but they wanted to go in private, right? Nah, you got to go to your brother in private. That's not what the scriptures say. That's if there's an incident. Let's say if there was an incident between me and Joshua. Yo, brother, you shouldn't have done that, man. So on and so forth, man. You ran into my car, whatever. I deal with that privately. Well, it's going to cost this amount. We squash it. If you don't want to hear that, then we go before, the government and body, man. We go before the priest and all of that. But not if you violating a man's wife, because you violating, what you're doing is just sinning against the Most High also. So you're violating the entire nation. So the Lord, when you stone people, when they stoned in private, hey, brother, let's go over here. I'm going to have to stone you in private. You see how ridiculous that is? You know how ridiculous that is? No, you would take them before everyone, and everyone would pick up a damn stone and just stone them to death, man, before everyone. That's why 1 Corinthians that the Ark just read reads like it did. You take them before everyone. So that's how you know a lot of these men are not coming through the spirit of the Lord, like the house of David. That's why they got so mad. That fat gluttonous bastard got so mad with me. That damn Methathawa, man. So calling me punks and stuff. That's why that Negro got in his feelings, man, because he knew what I was saying was true, man. That's why he got his damn feelings, man. I ain't worried about these Negroes stepping to me, man. If they do, they're gonna have a very bad day, man. So you better keep it on the keyboards, man. I keep telling them that, man. It's the truth, and the truth is coming out, and they don't like it. They don't like it, man. This is why they're getting so upset. And the other thing, man, you know why they won't? Again, I reiterate, the reason they won't sit down and debate that 12 tribes chart is because they know that they're wrong. Look how quick they're able to pick up debates on something else. The reason they won't pick that debate up is because they know they won't win. So they're trying to silence it. They try and go away. Since when has Tazadaq been turning down a debate? You understand what I'm saying? They always uncertain that debate. Why won't they debate them damn Moabites and them damn Edomites that they're calling Hispanics, and they can't? They won't debate it because they know they can't win. And so Israel gotta wake up and realize that. That's why they keep running and dodging. Nah, you're just trying to get notoriety. You're just trying to get hits. No, Negro, we want to sit down and debate that, so you could be exposed to the world as frauds and get these damn they're nothing but Edomites, right? They're Edomites with brown hair. That's all these damn so-called Hispanics are, man. Unless they have a Negroid descent. And these damn people that they call Native Americans, they're nothing but Moab. They're Moabites. Those are not our people, man. They had us in captivity, both of them. They had us in captivity, and they can't even go. And I got the artifacts to prove it. I got the books. I'm waiting for them to debate it. I'm gonna bring it out, man. How the Native Americans had us in captivities 2 years longer after the Emancipation Proclamation. I got the documented records to prove it. Just like Esau, the Native Americans was catching freed men, so-called black men that wasn't enslaved, and putting them in slavery on those damn so-called Native American places. This was before Oklahoma became a state, when they would call it like the Indian Territory. Before Oklahoma became a state, that was enslaving us, man. It's history. That's why they still hate us, man.
Salaka Kahan, What about Asians? I know I'd seen a video documentary you did about the different types of nations and how they came up and the admixtures. And you mentioned, or you elaborated on actually the Asian people, that that there was either and I beg your pardon if I'm incorrectly stating this, but or relating it, but something about them having some sort of a tie to uh, our sub-Saharan, or some kind of DNA that makes them have some connection to the Negro DNA structure,
Yeah,
and the
those are
look that
lots.
they have with their eyes and all of that. And then they changed, they got lighter as they, I
Well,
guess,
check this
moved
out,
north,
King.
or whatever the
Check this
case
out.
may be.
Check this out. When you read, so when you look at these modernized pictures of Genghis Khan, they show him as a so-called white Asian. But when you look at the ancient artifacts, he was dark, right? And why? Because where did
Con,
the so-called Asians come from? They went to what is known as the Far East, right? So
con,
that's where you got the so-called Moabites and Ammon, so-called Japanese and Chinese. They're
con,
referred to as Mongolians, right? Why they call
con,
Mongolians? Because they came out of our nation. Keep that in mind, right? Because they came about from Lot's two daughters having sex with him. You understand? That's how
con,
they came about. But when they came about, the Most High also put a curse on them because the law had actually already been passed that an incestuous relationship is forbidden. So
con,
they have what is known as Mongoloidism, right? You see how that eyes are slanted?
con,
Yeah, it's as a result of that. And, I don't want to, because I don't want them flagging from what I'm saying. I don't want to go too deep in that. But so with that being said, the original ones were dark skinned. But when you read the scriptures, the Lord tells you that they're not allowed in the congregation of Israel forever up into the 10th generation. So they're not our people. You understand what I'm saying?
con,
That's kind of like Shem and Ham being brothers, but they're not of our nation. You understand what I'm saying? They're not of our nation because the Hamites, Shem and Ham was brothers, but they went on to build that other own nation. Just like Jacob and Esau was brothers, but they're not of our nation. They're Edomites, we're Israelites. You understand what I'm saying? So yeah, we don't want to because the people that you're referring to as Asians, these are the same people that they call modern day Native Americans because they came down from over there, and when they got here, they already found us inhabiting the land. We was already here. So we're the true indigenous people. They're Indians. We're not Indians, we're indigenous, which means we was here, we was in South America, we was in Central America, we was in North America when they came here. So when they came here, they started to mix with us. You understand what I'm saying? Because
con,
they look like us, only they had slanted eyes. But then here comes Esau. 15th century, here comes Esau. And he comes and mix his Caucasus Mountain blood in with him. So they started becoming more and more like. So then what happened when they started transporting our people, the Israelite people that looked just like the indigenous people that they call Indians, right? When they started transporting them here, the indigenous people that was already here, when you read the Apocrypha, when they came here, when you read the Apocrypha and Esdras, our the so-called Native Americans was already here. So when they started to transport so-called black people here during the transatlantic slave trade, they started calling the true indigenous people Negro. So the Asians then, the Moabites, they stole our nationality and they started calling them Indians and started calling them Native Americans. And that's the lie that they sold to the world. You see what I'm saying? That's one of the greatest stories never told. So just like you have Revelations 2 verse 9 and 3 verse 9, those that say they're Jews and are not, you have people that say that they're Native Americans and are not, but do lie. And so that's what FOPE and Tazadaq want them to remove from that damn chart. It should say Negro owned. Bottom line, man. Bottom line. Yep.
Shalom, family.
Shalom, shalom, shalom.
And another thing, reason why they won't debate us, Kahan, because they know if they debate us with the Northern Kingdom, they're going to lose. And not only that they're going to lose a lot of money. When you look at these Israelite congregations, some of them became like Christian Israelite mega churches.
Come.
The size of them, like GOCC,
Right.
IUIC, ISUBK, getting real big now. And Tazadaq Church, the Comforter Camp. They are very, very large congregations. So that's a big chunk of change coming out their heads, people's pockets,
Right.
like Yohana, Rakar, Tazadaq, Neat. That's a lot of wealth to lose, you know what I'm saying? So these men is in power. They set up in power. They don't want to lose that power, even though they might know it's true. They rather teach that lie to keep their pockets growing than to lose that portion of money from the congregations. Plus, all of them is under the same 501c3 charter, which they all rule under. That's why a majority of them use the same scare tactics in their teaching, saying, if you leave us, they're going to take your book out the book. If you leave us, you're going to burn in hell, you're going to die, or the truth is not with you, the Lord ain't with you no more. You see what I'm saying? And that's the stuff I'm trying to beat out to people. Like, these are your modern day scribes and Pharisees that sit in Moses' seat. A lot of people laughing because they saying, oh, y'all keep talking about it's a civil war. It's a civil war, one West versus one West. They don't understand it. It's a spiritual war. That's why we say civil war, a spiritual civil war. Brothers fighting amongst brothers. But you have the ones who trying to be righteous and follow the king. Yahweh Shah, he says, I am the way, I am the life, I am the truth. No man come unto the Father but me. We following him. Y'all is following the high priest, or who want to be called high priest, that's sitting in Moses' seat. And then what they doing? They killing the flock. They taking all their money. And this is why they going through so much hardship, because these men is damn near, majority of these men are millionaires. I'm sorry. Let's just keep it real. Be wealthy. Me, I am not a millionaire. I'm a man who lives check to check, just like everybody else, even though I have my own business. But they talking about you not with the truth, or you not of the Lord if you don't send in your tights. According to scripture, we don't have to send money to you men. You feel me? The Most High and his son ain't returned yet. We're a nation in exile. So at the end of the day, we need to keep our money and maintain ourselves. We already in a system that's made to go against us. So why is my own brothers now oppressing me? That's Israelite. It's like I see a lot of our people, they left Christianity and was pressing Christianity. They left that dogma. Then they became in the Israelite community into the Israelite Christianity. And now they trapped in that dogma. They lost twice. And I'm trying to re-wake them up again, saying you've been got twice by Pharisees. But that's pretty much what I wanted to say on that, though.
Salaki brother, FOP Israel, Prince. I heard you said something about the tithing too, and I don't want to misquote, but I just like to comprehend. So their objective is to have you tithe to them and not to the truth, because we are supposed to tithe. And if we have the means to do so, we're supposed to do that, to give as we can, and whatever portion that we can, to the 10% that Yahweh has asked of us to give to his church. But these men, you're saying they're looking specifically to collect it like the tax collector. They're just trying to get it like the IRS, basically. Is that right?
They doing it for filthy lucre's sake, because they serving their own belly. You know what I'm saying? It's not to serve and build for the people. Now, say, like, if I'm a tax collector for the nation of Israel, right, and I'm taking the money, and you've been doing this for years, right? But you go buy you a big house and a big car, right? And everybody is suffering. Is that doing it for the Most High? Or is that doing it for filthy lucre's sake? That's what these have. I'm talking about, you got Israelites who's barely making it in their congregation. Some of the stories out there all through the nation. Some of these brothers been homeless, living on bus stops. That's how Tazadaq Shah got caught up. One of his members was a high-ranking member in his church, fell on hard times. They wouldn't do nothing for him. He was homeless. He got so mad, he said, "The hell with y'all. I've been here serving, putting in all this work, and y'all won't do nothing for me." when he was fine and doing good, he had donated a van to them. He took the van back. And that's how he discovered that they were stealing from the church, found hundreds of thousands of dollars worth of money in his own van that he confiscated. You can go look at the video. He'll tell you the story. And that's how they found out that Tazadaq was frauding the IRS. And they've been doing it for years. And that's something that the Most High did because he wanted to reveal that. But this is what goes on in these mega congregations. Same thing that goes on in the Christian churches. There's no difference. You can't have a covenant with the government and be an Israelite because Yahweh Shah didn't have a covenant with the Romans. He taught what he taught. He was against the system. Yep. You can't take part of the system and say we out there for Yahweh Shah, Kum Yashala, and raising our nation up when we're a nation in exile. That's why we don't have a 501c3, because we know the scriptures tell us don't go down to Egypt for help. We don't need Egypt help. We going off the faith of the Lord and only the Lord, nobody else.
Khan, the water.
He was making them pay double ties, like Tazadaq. They was literally paying double ties, and that dude would threaten people. That dude was very vicious, man.
Exactly.
He had them in fear, man. He would literally threaten them, man.
And that's why he's in the feds now doing time. He's getting punished here, and he's going to get punished in the next life after that for claiming he's the Holy Spirit. And who knows how much more the Lord going to punish that man. That's why I keep telling everybody, we FOPE stand on Acts 5:29. Peter and the other apostles answered and said, we ought to obey Yahweh rather than men. If you don't do that, you're going to fall for the fake body what these guys doing. So they constantly pumping scare tactics in. See, they mad at us, FOPE. They mad at TDOC, Tazadaq, and the other brothers there, because if we keep exposing their folly and the wrong they doing, it hurts their pockets. They don't want that. Anytime you hit them where it hurts their pockets, it hurt them. When you spark the brain of the minds of the sheep to take the blindfold off them, it'll turn people away. There's so much stuff we've been putting out, they can't answer to it. They don't have an answer for it. So when you leave their church, you got to think about it. That's the money loss. That's why they tell brothers, don't pay them no mind, or don't worry about that Negro only stuff. They finished. They can't answer no questions. But they break in the pockets of the people, which is corrupt and it's wrong. And that's the importance of this civil war. And everybody got to choose what side they're going to be on. It's been civil wars in Israel. Same way when the tribes fought against Benjamin, and Benjamin kicked everybody's ass, and they asked the Most High for the Ark of the Covenant. That was a violent civil war, but it had to happen. You see what I'm saying? So this civil war has to happen because the Lord said he was going to start with the house of Israel. The house got to be cleaned up. And it ain't got to be a physical civil war where somebody got to die, but it has to be a spiritual civil war where we fighting for righteousness, where we're not going to conform to their foolery. And
so,
I myself will not conform. And I'll yield the Lord.
So, okay, so brother, I would like to ask you, so then we know that Kahan Tazadaq is well-versed in law and contracts, and he speaks a lot on removing yourself from the commercial system, which means full honor of Yahweh and his guidance in this life, being dependent solely upon Yahweh. And that means transitioning commercially to a secured party. Now, is that something being embraced by FOP, Israel, and how many actual Israelites have embraced going their own way from the system? I've recently become a secured party, and as a result, it impacted my credit profile and everything with the LexisNexis. In fact, they sent me a letter deleting all of the account information after I had a call with them, learning and taking very seriously the call to come out of her as one of Yahweh's people. So this is my objective, is not to give Esau my sustenance, but to give it back to Yahweh in honor. And I'm just asking where that comes from, and what is your position on that?
Well,
you said you live paycheck to paycheck, so I'm just trying to, I mean, because in my mind I think like a creditor, and he's been building that in me for years. So I'm just looking at that as something. It's just a negotiable instrument. So how are you embracing that? I mean, he's feeding you, he's taking care of you with a job, but
Right.
what's your position?
All
I'm
right.
just trying to.
When I speak for FOPE, I don't speak for the whole organization because I'm not the head of it. I'm only second in command. So usually I just speak for myself, honestly, because I have the authority to speak for myself as far as my position in the organization. I can't speak for every man, but I have my own plan of working my way about the system. That's why I refer to having my own business. Business where I can make money through my own business. I have a plan that I'm running, but I don't want to tell people my plan. But it's a plan where I'm gonna come up out of the system because I plan on retiring. What I mean retiring is retiring from the system at the age of 45, where I don't need the system to sustain or live off them no more, and be a sovereign and be able to live and do things on my own without having to worry about a job or live off a job by Esau. That is the plan for me and my family and my wife. You know, we have to, whenever you do things like this, you have to plan it out. You just don't jump into it, you know. So I'm speaking for myself. That's the plan that I am. I can't tell you exactly what's Elder Quanaf's plan because he's the head, but we spoke about it and we all have same common ground. So I'll say that for myself.
God.
So yeah, man, we've been on about almost 3 hours, man. I'm getting a little bit tired, man. I guess we could bring this to a close unless someone else got something else, man.
So
No, I was just wondering, man. You guys got any groups or chapters in Wisconsin?
Who was that?
That was 262. What's your name, brother?
Brian.
What was his name?
His name is Brian.
You guys got? Yeah, Brian.
Brian? Well, what's your
Brian Williams.
nationality, Brian?
I'm mixed, black and white.
So no such thing as a mixed seed according to the scriptures. It's the seed of the father.
Yeah, my pops is black.
There's no such thing as black. Black is the crayon. Black's a color.
Oh yeah.
That's a misnomer. So I mean, you know, what's his nationality? Do you know?
I don't even know, bro.
Yeah, I mean, so
I don't even think you know.
is he a so-called black man from America? Is he a so-called black man from the so-called West Indies?
Yeah, from America.
Oh, so I mean, there's a possibility that he could be Judah or a Gadite or whatever. But no, I mean, we don't have anyone over there. But I mean, you could always, I mean, try and start something over there.
Yeah, he's got like light eyes and he's like light skinned. So I don't know. Like he's
that
like,
isn't. I mean, so-called black comes in many different shades. So I mean, you can't, you know, it's the spirit. So I mean, you know, you can put two black people together, and you know, they can produce the people that you're calling white. That's where Esau came from. You ever see any of my videos where, I mean, all it takes is two recessive genes to meet together. That's how people end up with blonde hair, blue eyes, and so on and so forth. Those are two recessive genes that met together at once.
So like Creoles too, like that's what Creoles like. What are Creoles are blacks too, right? Or
well, I mean, like, again, it depends. Again, black is a misnomer. I know what you're saying, but we try to move away from that. We try to, you know, use terminology like dealing with nationality. Like
yeah, me too. So what's like, a better word I could use?
You know, whatever nationality you may be from. When you say black doesn't really have any standing, right? This is why people that file for things like reparations, when they put black on it, they will never get those because black has no social political standing.
Gotcha.
It's also financial. It's financial. Your credit worthiness is impacted by that term.
Right. And I literally tested that with my cousin.
So then you put others.
You know,
So then you put other than, I guess, if it's like,
No,
if
you
they
can
don't give you
scratch
no
it
other
out and
options,
write in your
but,
nationality. I mean, you could check
oh, gotcha.
other, but I will write in my nationality.
So what then would it be? American, right?
Well, I mean, yeah, you could be an American national, but what is an American in this day and age? Well, if you want to put American, you got to go and look up the etymology of the word. So that means you got to go to a Webster's 1828 dictionary. You can't go to a modern day's Webster dictionary. You got to go to an unabridged dictionary. Unabridged means the original definition of the word hasn't been altered. So when you look up
Okay.
American in the original Webster's 1828 dictionary, it says many of the various natives with the copper colored skin. That would be the true American before
That's
the
native.
arrival of people from Europe. And I'm paraphrasing that.
And that would be the natives?
Well, I mean, no. Natives, the people that they refer to as native, they're not really truly native, right? Those people
Okay.
migrated here. Those people migrated here from Asia. The people that they refer to as Native Americans, they migrated here from Asia. But prior to those
Okay.
people being here, there's history. Can you see the screen right now? Are you able to see me on the
Hold on.
screen?
I don't think I can on YouTube.
No, I'm not on YouTube. On Zoom. You're logged in through Zoom right now. Can you see this book that I'm
I
holding
see
up?
it. Oh yeah, I didn't see that. I just
Yeah, you see this book? The First Americans Were Africans by Dr. Imhotep. When you read this book, you discover that the first inhabitants of Central, South, and North America are what they refer to as Negroes, right? They use the word Negro synonymous with African. And so they will use the word Israelite synonymous with African also. But prior to any of the people that they refer to as Native Americans coming here, we were already here. This is actually typically written out of history. So there's a lot of misinformation, like, that's actually been like indoctrinated into the minds of too many people, and it hasn't been the truth. But when you go and do your own research, you start to discover these things.
okay.
Khan,
Yeah, because they're not gonna publish any Israel or anything real before the natives. So I would have to probably get your book. That's what you're saying?
No, I mean, that book right there is not mine. That's Dr. Imhotep. I believe that would actually be good reading for many people. And another
Okay.
one is Africans and Native Americans. This one might have. This is another good book. This is why these guys don't want to debate us, man. I would shut their behinds down, man. We would shut them down because these are not our people, man. It's good. These people had us in captivity. Are you aware of that, brother? The brother in Wisconsin.
Yeah.
Are you aware that Native Americans had what you refer to as black people in slavery?
Yeah,
That they was capturing free black men and enslaving them.
They brought them over? Did they bring them over, or was they already here?
No, they didn't bring them over. They was here. Before they got here, we was here. We are pretty much indigenous to what you call Americans. And it's in, they know it. It's written in the dictionary.
No.
They know it.
It's the Aboriginal, they call Aboriginal natives, not Native Americans. The natives are the ones that Kahan was talking about earlier that came across from the Bering Strait, and we were already here.
Oh.
To the brother in Wisconsin, there's a lot of disinformation and misinformation. The public suffers from aphasia, and they also suffer from lack of knowledge and history. Right. And then there are agents disseminating intentionally wrongful information out there, disseminating disinformation campaigns to keep people in the dark and also to indoctrinate. And it sounds to me that
because you are a new caller or whatnot, you're just trying to get your bearings on what everything is. Sounds like you're suffering from lack of knowledge in these areas. So I was attracted to the truth, and naturally, Yahweh led me to Kahan, Tazadaq, and TDOC. And I joined because I learned through Yahweh's leading that this was the right place to be. Nothing but truth all the time, unrelenting and unapologetic. Even if it's painful to hear or whatever the case may be, it is just that, facts. And Yahweh is facts and pure truth, and he does not change. And that is what you have, you've come into knowledge of this ministry's existence. So if you find that any of the information has benefited you and enlightened you, it's always a good thing to, show your support and, thank Kahan, express your gratitude. And also you can donate too, because nowhere else, I haven't found anywhere else that is actually giving us the true information that history books will not teach you in school. You're not going to hear this information anywhere else, as far as I'm concerned. I comb, I research. I haven't found anything like this. So I just wanted to share that with you. He's doing some great things, and he's already impacted my life. And all of the information you are hearing is real. Judges, attorneys, these types, they do listen in, they do come in, they're silent. I've used some of this information against these quote unquote authorities. In fact, the Executive Office of the United States District Attorney, they can't challenge any of the information. So all of this is very real, and everything that he said tonight, Kahan Tazadaq has shared tonight, you need to take heed and pay close attention to the history, because that is fact.
And Mikael, you said a key thing. You said you do your research. So the beginning of Brian, I encourage you to do the same thing. Do your research.
Can the brother leave his email or something so we can reach out to him?
Con.
Yeah, I can do that. You want me to put it in the chat?
Yeah, can you put it in the chat?
Okay.
Yeah, I'll put email in the chat, and you can reach out to us and leave a phone number, and probably a couple of the brothers will probably give you a call.
Okay, and I appreciate that.
I don't see him here. Don't see him. Where's the oil? Everyone.
Just called in Zoom. He won't be able to look at anything in Zoom because he's just on the phone. It'll have to be Brian. If you could, in the description in YouTube, you can go and it should be a link to the website and the Kahan's email for you to reach out.
Are you on YouTube now? I'm Brian.
Yeah, I am, but I can't play the video because I'm on the phone.
Gotcha.
Yeah, I'm just putting my email address there. Oh yeah, I see you right there, Brian Williams.
Okay.
Oh yeah, you put it on YouTube. All right, I see it.
Yeah, I think I've emailed you before, and you responded to me, but I never got a chance to respond back. Right. Because I know that you're really busy, and I know I don't want to waste anybody's time. So I'm just trying to get this vision together that God is trying to, or not trying. I'm trying to put in perspective what He's trying to show me. Yeah, concerning like the future of my kids and what I want to do for the rest of my life. So I've been watching the creditor videos, secure party creditor videos, and just trying to line my ducks up, I guess you can say, before I actually start the process. So I was going to contact you as soon as I did that.
Right. All right. So yeah, man. I guess we could. We've been on here for like 3 hours, man. We could bring this to a close, man. Where's Chad Robertson? Where's Eleazar? So yeah, man. We could actually bring this to a I just carbon copy on you that you on that Yashabun and Eleazar. I just sent Brian an email. So yeah, I mean, we thank everyone for listening in. We're gonna go ahead and shut it down. We actually been on here for like 3 hours. So gonna say shalom and may the Most High watch over you and keep you. Shalom.
Shalom.
Shalom.